Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today we'll take a look at Divine Masculine, what's going on with them. And I just realized that I'm wearing my Karl Lagerfeld t-shirt, which is kind of very symbolic of the masculine. But I mean, total coincidence, of course, wink wink. So I'll do my spread. I think it was pretty popular, the one about past, present, and future. So we'll do that for Divine Masculine. We'll see. So it's going to be those aspects of the past and the future that are relevant to what's going on with them now, right? Like certain bits that are important to understand in the current context of energies. And then at the end, I'll pull messages from Divine Masculines to Divine Feminines. And of course, at the beginning, I will start with an oracle card. And the first card I will pull will be for Divine Feminines watching. I'm just gonna shuffle my cards. Sorry for showing up late today, late in the day. Had a bit of a rough morning, but it's all good now. I've officially started my preparations for my trip to Hawaii the last couple of days. I haven't really spoken about it, but it's so kind of fresh, and you know, like when it's something big that's coming, it's exciting but scary at the same time. So that's how it is for me right now. It's gonna be an important new chapter, and it's super exciting, but it's also kind of scary because it means a lot of changes in my life. And I'm Taurus, I don't like change, just generally speaking. I'm one of the worst signs in the zodiac cycle in terms of dealing with change. Yeah, and of course it means letting go of certain habits, certain activities, leaving certain people behind, including my DM. You know, like it's a lifestyle change, and also I'm like again, because I'm Taurus, I'm a creature of habit, and I like my like comfy home arrangement, right? Like to have my space and to have everything, you know, looking nice and have everything I need. And I understand that by definition, it's not going to be like that during these few months that I'm going to spend there. I will be doing readings just as before. I mean, they might change in the format, in the frequency. We'll see how the energy flows and what I'll be guided to do. But I will definitely continue uploading for my channel. Maybe I'll even do more of that. Who knows? For all of my channels. And yeah, so that part is not going to change. But I'll definitely be living a different lifestyle for a few months. It's going to be a lot less stable, a lot less secure to a certain degree. And, you know, some people will be like, yeah, give me that. And yeah, it's like, you know, it's thrilling, it's exciting, but then, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So let's get a card for Divine Feminine first of all. Let's take a deep breath. Piece of guidance for Divine Feminines watching. You are perfectly imperfect, number 37. I love this. I love the star. Yes, this is a reminder that whatever is happening in our lives, whatever decisions we're making, whatever we are saying, whatever we're feeling, even if it's not the most divine place that we're in right now, it's all happening for a reason. So it's kind of divine in its nature because it's divinely guided, right? It wouldn't be a true earthly experience if it didn't have karmic, like it is karmic by definition, actually, right? Like it wouldn't be a true earthly experience if it didn't have karmic circumstances, karmic people, events, and choices that we make, right? It's all about that. It's part of that learning, working with karma. Of course, we go much deeper, and then we talk about, now please give me a card for Divine Masculines watching. It goes deeper into generational karma, ancestor healing, Akashic records. So as twin flames, we have capacity to dig deeper than this lifetime and to understand the nature of things on a much larger scale. And by the way, any of those topics that I just mentioned, highly recommend, especially if you feel guided, if you have some sort of, you feel like there is some sort of special meaning for you in the knowing more about where you come from, what was happening with you before this lifetime. A lot of times it comes to our life as an idea that Like, I don't understand why certain events are happening for me, like, or you know, like for me, a lot of my generational karma was transformed to me. Just realized how my band is matching all of the background. That's funny. Sorry, off topic. Squirrel. Like a lot of my karma was given me with my health issues that I was born with. Like that's like, it's on the nose, it's like very obvious. Still took me, of course, I didn't realize it like as a child, right? And of course, because of my family circumstances and life environment, I accumulated a lot more of that baggage, both physically and emotionally and on the soul and energetic level. But so to a certain extent, it was actually going like downwards. Like I got poor health when I was born, and it was getting worse to a certain degree, until a certain moment when I was awakening more towards these connections, the energetics, the healing parts, and all of that. Yeah, so that's like a very obvious marker, right? If you were born with a certain problem, it's like, it's definitely comes from, like, either it comes from family, right? Like through generations, it went down to you, or because it's like that, it's like also like an energetic channel that unites or that connects generations of the same family. And it also has like, you know, this kind of an energy flow, right? And the more karma, negative karma, let's be more specific, the more negative karma there is in that, what do you call it? In that, well, let's call it family, of course. In that family, the rougher, the tougher your life is going to be. And oftentimes people think like, you know, I must have deserved it, or it just must be my luck, or something along those lines. Like, even if we don't like to think that way, we still a lot of times tie it up to ourselves. And I did too. But that's the beautiful part, that it's not, and it's important to be able to discern that what's yours and what you've added to the table, good and bad, and what did you receive from the previous generations, the good and the bad. Masculines have number 4, ask wonderfully, receive graciously. And yes, you can talk to your ancestors, you can ask them. Because guess what? Among those guides, those entities that are around you, there is like 100% certainly somebody from your soul family, from your family line. Okay, let's move on with the reading, and let's see what we have for the, right away we have the Ace of Swords. That's gonna be the first card. So this is the past. Now we have the Emperor and Three of Pentacles. So that's the past. The present, we have Wheel of Fortune, Fool, Knight of Pentacles. Very fresh start, very much divinely guided journey, where it's almost like, look at that face of the Fool here. It's like divine masculine. Half of the time they don't even know why they do what they do. It's that sort of euphoric situation, you know, when you're like maybe like under the influence of meds or drugs or whatever. Like, you know, you're like, yeah, and you're doing something, and then the next day you're like, why would I ever do that? And like, that's not me at all. Or like, that was so stupid, but you still do it in the moment, right? Because you're under the influence. It's like somebody else kind of feels like controlling what you do. Sometimes in the moment you understand that it's something weird, but you can't help it. You just go with it. And this is similar, but this is on a bigger scale, because it's not just about one day or one evening, right? And then you have a hangover and then you move on. This is like, this is the state. This is lasting, right? I'm getting it's partly like what they're feeling through this transformational season, right? And still are. Let's see what we have for the future. I don't know why I shuffled more, but I guess I had to. Six of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. It's a bit of a macho vibe that I'm getting here. The divine masculines are feeling like either they already feel like, you know, they are in that macho energy, they're feeling particularly sexually ignited, and that they they're kind of in the mood for more of that sex play and maybe the flirt game, right? It could mean different things to different people, how they like, what that energy actually translates into. For others, it's something that they want. Maybe it's not available right now, or if they're single, for example, right? It's not like immediately, for a lot of people, it's not like immediately what you know, go out of your house and you just start flirting with everyone, right? You can't really do that. Like most people can't do that. So at least it's their desire. So they understand. Sorry, guys. So they understand that that's what they want to do and they go for it. So they take steps towards that because they're in that Randy energy. So in the past, there was some discovery about the potential, the huge potential that divine masculines have in terms of being teachers, being role models, being mentors for others. And no, I'm not saying that they've received that and they are on board with it. No, that one thing doesn't mean another automatically. But what this showed them is the possibility, right? It's like before that they didn't even consider it that much, right? That they could excel at something to the degree where they will be, you know, I don't want to say looking down at people because it has a negative connotation, but they will be able to speak to the public, to other people as a superior representative, as a more of a, you know, a higher specialist, right? Somebody who knows better, right? And they understood, so the main lesson from this was they understood that they're capable of that it's real, it can happen. Maybe not right now because maybe they don't have the public to speak to or to teach, right? Maybe they've never taught at all and they understand that, like, even if somebody comes to them, like an apprentice or a student, and say, I want to learn from you, they wouldn't even know what to do with that person, right? It could be that way. Like, they understand that it's not going to happen today, but it's going to happen. They can do it, and it felt great when they got that idea. What is happening now, like I was saying, we also have, like, these two cards I've already talked about, so there is this vibe of masculines doing certain things. They're in the vibe, they're in the flow. Look at all these cards, they're pretty beautiful, positive, right? It's certainly high vibe energy, but they are kind of like almost like sleepwalking a lot of times. They don't really understand why they do what they do. The good part is that they actually, their brain gets turned off at the right time, so they don't have to overthink it, right? But what it gives them is also the basis. Then they, like, at other times their brain turns on again and they're approaching the situation. Then with the Knight of Pentacles, they're looking at it and like, oh, wow, that's what happened? Okay, I'm gonna get on board and I'm gonna see how I can make it work, or what can I get out of it? You know, like, at least they're seeing it with a constructive vision of like, oh wow, that was interesting, but I guess now because of that I can do XYZ. Well, I thought I'll have to be working with this person, but actually have opportunity to work with someone else now. Or I found these new friends that I never even knew that I was interested in, those kind of people, but they are great and I love it. You know, that sort of vibe, like actually believing in fate and that whatever comes to your life is there for a good reason. There we go. For the future, we have Six of Pentacles, which is balancing out in the 3D life. So this is, for a lot of masculines, this is going to be about stabilizing their financial position, understanding how that flow of energy works to bring in abundance, to bring in money, so that they can actually feel comfortable with it. And they can even give to whoever and whatever they feel whoever and whatever I need of extra help, of helping hand. For a few, it's not as much about money, it's more about time and energy, right? Like, you know, if you're like hustling and juggling a lot of stuff in your life and you barely have time to sleep and to eat, like by definition you don't really have time to be doing, I don't know, volunteer work, for example. But maybe it's something that you're passionate about and you feel bad. I mean, you, meaning divine masculines watching, you feel bad about not being able to. So this is the part where, in that example, where you will find a way. You will, like, magically, quote unquote, things will work out with your schedule, with your activities, so that you will have time freed up. You will have energy to give to others who need you, need your light. And also, it's, as a consequence, it will also translate into the way you give and receive love, right? It will make it a lot more honest and authentic, right? And it will also, like, open new opportunities in terms of income, in terms of building something interesting, innovative, and long-term, long-lasting. Look at the size of that pentacle. It's huge, right? It's like, it's not something that will be like, we have a gig here and there, or I'm just gonna do this for a year and then we'll see. No, this is like, maybe I don't know 100% how I'm gonna do this, but I know this is gonna be, you know, the passion of my life, or that this is something where I see myself grow a lot, right? Like, it's a roadmap, it's a long-term thing. Okay, last but not least, let's get some messages from divine masculines to feminines watching. What would the masculines like to share from their heart and mind? What do they want divine feminines to know at this time? By the way, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to my channel, and to, this was too many, to subscribe to my channel, and do share the video, of course. Okay, anything else? Please don't give me 10. I don't know, are divine masculines that talkative today? I guess they are. I feel pretty pumped as I'm doing this reading. I didn't feel like that before I sat down and started the video. Just saying. Oh, I'm trying to overcome my commitment issues. I have trust issues. Kind of sounds familiar, right? Please don't give up on me. Yes. So, divine feminines watching, even if your DM is not showing up in the 3D live the way you would like them to, and I don't mean that subjectively, maybe objectively they are giving you a hard time, or they're giving you silent treatment or something like that, don't take it personally. I mean, it's like a mantra for anything and everything, but I'm just saying that in this particular situation that you're going through right now, it's even more divinely guided than you feel. And at least if it doesn't seem like that to you for your story, or you're confident that it's not divinely guided for your life, for your story, at least respect and have compassion and kindness that it is something that is important for divine masculine story. And that's something that they need to live through, to live out, kind of those scenarios. And it's important that you are not part of those, right? So if this is the fear that they're expressing towards you, it's because it's also divinely guided. And that means, like, this is like a safe distance between you two, so that they can deal with whatever it is they need to deal. Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.